gamers, Senile Sarge, and today's video is going to be answering a question: should you purchase Core Keeper right now? To help you navigate around the video, I placed some timestamps down in the description, so you can just kind of go there, look around, pick what you want to listen to, and then pass the stuff you don't, or come back, go forward, go around, whatever you want to do, you have the ability to do in this video. All right, let's get into it. Core Keeper is an early access game that was developed by Pugstorm and published by Fireshine Games. The game prioritizes mining, building, fighting, crafting, and farming in a large cave system map. One note here, the maps for each game you create are dynamic. Basically what that means is you're never going to see the same map in each world that you create, which is a great addition to this title. Core Keeper is currently on sale for $11.69, that's in US dollars, until March 15th. Then it's going to go back to its normal price, which is $12.99 in US dollars. The main offers for Core Keeper is single player mode, online co-op with up to 8 players, full controller support, multiple classes or backgrounds as they call it in the game for players to choose from, lots of variation across the game such as enemies, bosses, biomes, etc. All right, so from an art style perspective, the overall look and feel of the game is great. For those that have played Minecraft, Terraria, Stardew Valley, you're going to see that the game visually looks similar to those games. I do want to say, though, that just because it looks similar does not mean that it plays similar. Core Keeper has its own unique art style that is simplistic, yet very fun. Jumping in and getting started, Core Keeper development team has done a great job of helping players understand how to play as soon as you start. The UI is simplistic enough that you can figure out pretty much what to do right from the get-go. There's not a tutorial system in the game, but I'm not sure that that's really needed. What I do know is it's not difficult if you've played a survival game title before. If you haven't, then food is going to be probably the only part of this game which is going to be difficult to understand, because you will starve pretty quickly. So for those that are going to get it, just understand that. Reviews on Steam all seem to echo kind of my thoughts about the game. Right now, Core Keeper has an overwhelming positive rating on Steam, and it truly deserves the rating. It's a chill game. It's great to enjoy with friends or even by yourself. Although with friends, this game is so much better. And I got to say that again, this game is so much better with friends. From control perspective, I played the game on controller and keyboard and mouse. It's been a while since I've played a game that I could do both, where I could switch seamlessly from a controller or move to a keyboard and mouse. They actually did a really good job of that with this game. So it's fun to play both ways. The other thing is I suspect there's going to be a port of the game onto other platforms in the future. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen or not. I just feel like it's probably going to happen because they have controller support that works so well right out of the gate. So I do hope that that's something that Xbox players, PlayStation, and Switch players get to see this game in the future. It already looks like it's something that could be ported over. Additionally, you'll see here in the background, they have a great system in the game for changing keybinds. I mean, actually, the settings area is kind of dull. I mean, there's not a lot there, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a simple system, right? But then you get into the key binding and it actually looks a lot different. So that tells you that they've spent a little bit of time to make sure that you as a player have the ability to change things the way that you want to change them. All right, content. This was the biggest fear I had coming into the game when I played it. Almost 55 hours into the game now, and I still haven't cleared the entire map on the first world that we actually created. I also noted earlier, the worlds are dynamic. So when you create one, you're never gonna, when you get to the second one, it's not gonna be the same. The layout's gonna be completely different. That means there's plenty of opportunity to see different layouts, and also it's a unique way to build multiple bases. So you may build a base one location one time, but then pick somewhere else to build it the next time. Additionally, I love the developers already has a roadmap. You can see it here. Not only did they talk about adding additional biomes and dedicated servers and all these things, we actually saw them do that on the initial release. So before the game came out on early access, they actually released some of the biomes. So that's great. My only concern for the game right now is longevity. You know, it's important for a developer like this that's creating a game like this to think about that longevity. I think the roadmap does say that they're going to be releasing things. I am a little nervous, though, as we saw with like Valheim, that the amount of time that it takes for them to release it is too long, and then they lose their player base. So I think as long as they come up with a good scheduling process to make sure the content's coming out, they're going to be good to go. I say that also, though, by just mentioning the game's only $12.99 at its normal price. So if right now, if I was to purchase this game today with not knowing that there's anything else coming out with it, it's good. It's exactly where it should be. There's so much content here, and honestly, I feel like you're getting more content than really what you're paying for. Last note here, the game is awesome with a group of friends. I like playing alone. It was a lot of fun. But I do think having 8 people play was just a completely different environment. All of us kind of chose a different background or class. We were all kind of doing different things, and the game felt just way better. If I remember right, also, it felt like the enemy, and I'm not sure if this is 100%, but it felt like the enemy scaled also when there was more of us fighting the enemy than just one. So again, from a content perspective, I'm feeling very comfortable about it as long as they can schedule out good updates between now, really over the next couple of years. Bugs. Usually when I talk about early access games like this, I talk about how many bugs there are in a game. I was relieved to see that there's really no bugs. I haven't run into any bugs that I could sit here and think about. And I actually thought about it for a couple minutes today. Hey, have I ran into bugs? I really haven't. That is just not normal in early access. I say that though with a note that it's still early access. So there could be things that I haven't seen yet that you may see. If you're somebody that doesn't like buying games that are in early access because you're worried about bugs and stuff, I don't think you're going to have that problem in this game, but just know you may, right? You may, especially as they start to release content further on in the game. Crafting is probably one of the best things inside of Core Keeper, and there's so many awesome things, right? Farming, fishing, all these things. They all have their own little unique systems that are in place. You really have the ability to create various types of benches, and just you kind of lead the story and how fast it goes. And that's one great part about the game is you don't have to rush to Iron Age. You can go at the speed that you want to. The only thing I don't feel like you have the ability to kind of take your time on is food. Food is an essential part of this game because you will get hungry fast. So it's important to kind of understand that being out farming, exploring, mining, things like this is going to be really, really important to be successful in the game as you go through. One small cautionary note here is that ore does not come back in the world. So once you go out, you use it. You may want to come up with some unique items to craft as an example. Just know that once you use all the copper, you've used all the copper. So just be careful how fast you move through the game, and how quickly you utilize some of the resources. So my overall verdict, if you love survival-based games with a focus on mining, gathering, farming, and building, then this game is absolutely for you. The real story here for me is that it only costs $12.99 and it provides so much fun. Very similar to what Valheim did for me, hours and hours into the game, and I didn't even realize how many hours we put into it. If you're on the fence about purchasing because you don't like the way the game looks, then I would say this to you. If you played other games that look like this and you didn't enjoy them, then I probably would not pick up Core Keeper. I mean, what you see is what you get. This is not a game that's going to blow your socks off with like an Elden Ring look or something like that. That's not what the game's meant to be. After all, it's only $12.99. The look's not going to be for everyone. However, if you played these other games we talked about earlier, you enjoyed, like the look doesn't really bother you. You just want a game that has a unique basis and is fun to play, then this is it. The developer's done a really, really good job with the game. It's got good UI and it just feels good. It's also important to note the game's not a finished product. So if you don't like early access title bugs and stuff like that, although there's not a lot now, when they start releasing some of these roadmap items, you can expect to see some of these bugs and issues come. That's just natural. Core Keeper's a fabulous game that is perfect for communities that enjoy survival-based games. So if you're in a community that has people that love survival games, then I would absolutely tell you to pick this up. Having 8 people in one of these in a game or in a world playing is so much fun. Like, it is just low, and you're going to play for days and days and days and hours and hours and hours together, just having fun. The enemy are difficult. It's just a really, really good game. If you're a solo player looking for a group, you don't really know where to find one, hey, you can come hang out in the community I'm in. It's called Rally Point. You can do that by visiting discord.gg/Rally Point. You can also see the link down in the description. As always, folks, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one. This is Senile Sarge signing off.